Communication skills. Discover surprisingly simple skills to getting through to absolutely anyone and develop extraordinary relationships. Written by Michael Pond. Narrated by John Palmer and Christian Stone.
Introduction. This book will help you in learning how to become an active listener via easy-to-follow steps that can be incorporated into one's daily life. In the book, one will find discussions on various techniques of communication. One will then learn practical skills on how to improve listening skills, which work in scenarios where communication involves one-on-one interactions or groups. The listening skills discussed involve both those that need one to speak and those that can be achieved without any verbal action. The book contains practical tips that assist in developing the skill of active listening. It contains examples of how the tips can be used in varied situations. One will find examples of which tips to consider first, depending on the scenario one is faced with at any one time. Going through the book, one will find ways in which they can improve their listening skills through the process of active listening. Details on how one can measure the improvement in the skill of listening are shared. Pitfalls that should be avoided in the journey of sharpening listening skills are also found within the book. Finally, the book shares in which one can use the skills learned in listening in making themselves memorable for a lifetime. Varied scenarios and examples are shared that one can implement comfortably in one's journey to build better and stronger relationships that are fulfilling. Chapter 1. Communication Techniques. Communication techniques, by definition, are ways in which communication concepts are practically applied. Communication occurs in three main ways: verbally, non-verbally, via written word, and visual. In regards to verbal communication, the same can take place in person or via varied media, such as through a telephone conversation. The applications are relevant even in unexpected situations that one comes across in their daily lives. The techniques used are varied and should be applied in the context of what one faces at any given time. The communication techniques that are effective are simple and easy to incorporate. The techniques are applicable even in the world of the written word. The advantage that the written word has is that the information to be passed can be edited until a version one is comfortable to transmit is arrived at. This gives one an opportunity to deal with mistakes in advance. The foundation of developing effective communication skills is first focusing on the sharpening of the skill of listening, active listening. Active listening is about both hearing what the message is being transmitted and understanding the message. In a world where everyone's attention is drawn by a myriad of issues, communication techniques are one way of helping one stand out from the crowd. Being unique in this aspect is of importance both at the workplace, particularly in scenarios requiring teamwork, and within one's social circles. In professions that are sales-oriented, effective communication techniques can be what makes the difference between being a professional success or a failure. Those within industries dealing with resolving conflicts are aware of how critical active listening as the foundation of communication is. Effectively communicating allows one to end up with a majority of win-win scenarios. It should be noted, though, that some situations require one to turn off the technique of listening. Effective communication techniques can be considered as a tool of persuasion. When using communication techniques to persuade, one should consider the setting within which the communication will occur as a factor that can affect the success of the overall goal. One should remember that sometimes persuasion can take time. Communication techniques used can determine
Sample complete. Ready to continue?